Welcome to day 86 of 66 and 26. On Tuesdays, we're in the historical books of the Old Testament, and today we're back in 1 Samuel chapters 9 to 13. If you remember last week, we saw God relent and give the people of Israel a king, even though God is their king. And God had warned them that really the king is going to oppress you and force your sons into labor in the army and your daughters in service into the king's own house. And even with that, the people of Israel said, no, we want a king. And God relents, and through the prophet Samuel tells them they will have a king. Well, this week, as we begin in chapters 9 and 10, we see that God raises up this man that he will make the first king over Israel, whose name is Saul. And we find out that Saul is an interesting character. He is a full head taller than all other people in the nation of Israel. He stands above everyone. He really is the model of a king's king. A king in those days was supposed to be a fighting warrior. And this was a big man, strong, and the people looked to him for that strength. The problem is that they relied on a man, physical person, instead of relying on God, who is really their king. And so God rebukes the people of Israel for not trusting in him. And then we see that King Saul, even before he's king, the people of Israel are gathering together to anoint him as king. And Saul has been tipped off. Samuel has told him that he will be the king over Israel. Saul doesn't really want to be. So when all of Israel gathers together, we see this in these chapters of 1 Samuel, that the Spirit of God directs Samuel to a particular family within a particular tribe, and then that falls to Saul, son of Kish. But when they look for Saul, he's nowhere to be found, because he's hidden himself among the luggage that's going to be taken away. And so he really doesn't want to be king. He knows he's called by God to be king, but he really doesn't want to be. And so we see this unfaithful man who is not following the calling of the Lord. And then we see very early on the failure of Saul, when God calls on him to trust that after so many days, the reinforcements will come. Samuel will come to bring the Spirit of the Lord along with him. And yet Saul is impatient, and he goes ahead with a sacrifice ahead of Saul's arrival because he hasn't truly trusted the Lord. And from that moment on, the Lord will seek after a new king instead of Saul. And so we're told that God will look for a man who is after his own heart. Now, the amazing grace of God is that in the midst of all this, we're told that Saul reigned as king for 42 years. Even after his failure early on in his kingship, God still has this amazing grace for King Saul. But he is going to have a new plan. In the chapters ahead, we're going to see David, who's raised up as the new king, even though it will be years before he actually takes the throne. In all of it, I have a lot of people who ask, why do we study these books of the Old Testament? Why are these important? And I think there are lessons for us to take from all of these chapters about how we trust in the Lord. Are we looking to princes and kings and presidents and armies as our strength, or are we looking to the Lord for our strength? And we can learn a lesson how not to act from King Saul. And so we trust in the Lord even when we don't have strength in ourselves, and especially when we don't have strength in ourselves, we're left to trust in God alone. And that's the lesson from these chapters in 1 Samuel today.